when it crashes, it knocks out the video, which bloody annoying. I was talking about Jeff Holiday. Now, I was quite a fan of Jeff Holiday for quite a while, but he has said things, particularly in the past, that really I got pretty uncomfortable with. There you go. I'll show everyone again how many secondary characters I've got. Oh dear. But yeah. Actually, I think I'll have a go with. Should I go with Stillman? Where's Stillman? Not sure. I'll go with Super Fandom. Current dead link character service target. Oh God, no. Yeah. So I was quite a fan of Jeff Holiday, mainly for his videos about pseudoscience and pseudoscience being used in medicine and anti-vaxxers and things like that. But unfortunately, I think Jeff's biggest problem is he's tried to appeal to too many people at the same time, and he'd get involved in a lot of shit that really wasn't benefiting him in any way. This whole thing with Crown Tea, you know, sometimes the pair of them could be like the worst. It felt very much when I'd watch some of their streams together that, you know, if a person's on their own, they're fine. But if there's two people together, they'll play off each other and they'll say things that are really malicious and nasty. And it's not nice to see people who you like acting that way. And unfortunately, Jeff has said things in the past that I'm like, oh God, why did you say that? It was like the whole Kekistan thing. I was warning him for months on Twitter. Maybe it's time to say the whole Kekistan thing is a mistake. Drop it. It's not benefiting you. You're going to attract completely the wrong crowd. And it was all pushed off. Oh, we invented Kakistan and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't think so. And, you know, when it did balls up,
get away!
And he got loads of the alt-right following him. And he'd say things about the alt-right, and he'd get back to people like that weirdo Coach Red Pill bloke.
Run!
Who I've spoken to him on Twitter once, and it was so, you know, really stupid shit. And I was like, you know, I don't want to talk to him again. Those are Aidan Paladin. Aidan Paladin, when I first started watching her stuff months ago, and she seemed pretty sort of well adjusted, and then, Jesus Christ, it was like an overnight thing. She suddenly turned into a fucking right-wing lunatic.
Together, we could make history.
I think it's also the people she was hanging around with, people like bloody...
new things.
No bullshit. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that man doesn't know anything.
Ah, I got your attention. Good.
Right,
Meet me at this secret location and I'll give you the details of this little arrangement.
Oh, can't find it. No, that's the last release. Ah, there it is. Right. Q. Ah, Q. Ready. Yes. For some reason, I can't load my. Oh, hello. I can't load my Super Fandom character for some reason, which is annoying. It's a shame because I've got him. He's really high up on my leveling. Well, that's a villain. That's a villain. Not sure about the bald lady. Oh, Etrigan. Yeah. Quite a fan of Etrigan. Don't know who they are. See, this is the sort of stuff I wish was in, like, these DC movies. The problem with the DC movies is they're not fantastical enough. You know, the great thing about DC is because it's been around for so long, it has so many characters in it. Oh, hello. Nice outfit, chick. Yeah. Oh, there's the Phantom Stranger.
There you are. I was starting to think you weren't interested in power beyond your
all
wildest
of these
dreams.
characters.
At the very least, we need to get these artifacts
like
out of the hands of the monsters that
magic,
carry them. You in or you
supernatural people. I haven't seen Deadman in this yet, which I'm like, oh, I hope he's in it at some point.
Now,
because he's one of my favourite DC characters.
So, I've got a lead on a few artifacts.
But and one's like the Spectre as well.
I mean, why save it for last? Let's just jump right in.
You know, you got gods, I'm pretty sure they're keeping my
stuff like. Let's go.
But DC, the movies are so like, you know, let's just have a small amount of heroes. I said that, you know, I've said this for like nearly the past year, that what DC really needs to do is do a sort of 52 idea in
we're after the rings of Azar.
Have the story start in the next movie and have loads and loads of heroes in it, everything from like Green Lantern to Dr. Fate. And then explain about them in separate movies later on. You don't have to have the complete backstory of a character. You could just have the characters and then explain how they got to where they were later on. Because that was the great trick that they did with the 52 comic. That they had all these events happen and they explained what happened to them over 52. So, you know, you could do that. It'd be much better as well because it's being on screen. You could include all of the characters, even the really goofy characters like Buana Beast and Mr. Lick or whatever it's called. Mr. Lickle, I can't even pronounce it. It's the one where he's got the ridiculous name. If you say it, then he has to return to his own dimension. Mr. Licks or something like that he's called. You know, you could do that in a have a character that crazy, and it would completely knock Marvel for six because they've had a strategy of slowly building to something. But you could always do the trick in reverse, you see. If you start off with a film on its own that has all these extra characters,
The power.
you'd get an audience wanting to know who these people are. Oh, brother blood.
Yes, the power. I will finish you off myself.
I'm doing about 25 minutes of this. I am dead. Dog tired.
Curse you! No! All the magical energy will be lost!
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
Our next stop is the lovely suburb of Oa. In the old days, it would have been a real trick getting across the galaxy, but now old Johnny Boy's got Sector O on speed dial. Last one there's a duffer.
Oa, of course, the planet where the Green Lanterns come from. Oh. Ooh. Nice. All that green energy.
The Guardians and their Green Lanterns are usually more the recycling type. They're not keen on outsiders digging through their garbage, but they won't miss what they don't know is missing.
I did my list earlier of the top 10 movies of this year on my Periscope. I actually had to do it in 2 videos because, wow, Mr. Lucky here, my phone decided to crash halfway through the, 70% through the last of my picks. I'll do my top 5.
Mine?
Where are we?
What?
Oh, I better do that. My spacecraft running out of antimatter, according to that. I unlocked a load of characters on my Star Trek game, which I'm really happy about. I've finally got Ben Sisko, because he's my favourite captain in Star Trek. Yeah, I quite liked Janeway as well, but Janeway's very different from Benjamin Sisko. I'm a huge Deep Space Nine fan, but Benjamin Sisko is very good at being more than just sort of your standard Star Trek captain. And he had stories that were extremely good. I also liked it because he was a father, and it's something. Captain Picard's good, but he doesn't have any family, so you really don't get that extra element that you would have. I've unlocked a load of ships as well. I've got a got the HMS Bounty, which is the Klingon bird of prey from Star Trek 4. Because I nicked it in Star Trek 3, but they didn't call it the HMS
Since you're
Bounty
such a fan of gallivanting across the universe, I picked a very special location for our next expedition. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Yeah, of course, encouraging.
That probably spoiled the surprise.
I've got Ron again. Recall. Yeah, I got two Ahuras now. I got a Mirror Universe Ahura. Yeah. Got quite a big crew. Yeah, I'll list them off. I got oh, I'll switch it round to alphabetical. Come on. I got Archer. Oh, I can upgrade Captain Archer. Of course, I'll do that now. Yeah. You've got Captain Archer, Captain CMO Bashir, Groundskeeper Boothroyd. I got Commander Chakotay because I had the one where he was a Marquis. Ensign Chapel, who was like the nurse to Dr. McCoy. I've got the Star Trek 4 Chekhov. Beverly Crusher. Glyn DeMar, who was like the assistant to Goldacott. Commander Data. I think it's season 2 Data. It might be season 1, because I think he's holding Law's head. Donick, who was a Hirogen. Mira Esri Dax. Well, she doesn't have a Dax symbiont, so she's known as Esri Tigian. Ambassador Fox, he was from the original series, but I can't remember the name of the episode. First Marge Hordon, he's a Kazon. Idrin, who was like one of the leaders of the Hirogen. I was a big Hirogen fan. They were like my favourite. Them and the Vidians were the two aliens in the whole of Voyager that I really liked. Jadzia Dax, which I think she's season 1 or season 2 of, no, it'd be season 1 because she's wearing the Next Generation outfit. Jadzia Dax, Catherine Janeway, Keevan, who was one of the Dominion Vorta, Kiko O'Brien, I got her quite recently. Temporally shifted Kez, who was Kez from the future. Kira Nerys, who unfortunately she's wearing a baseball outfit. I want the Kira who actually looks like the Kira. Captain Kirk, original season 1 Kirk. This is one that I was really glad I got because he's one of my favourite Klingons. Commander Kor from the original series, who also reappeared in Star Trek in Deep Space Nine a couple of times. My other favourite Klingon, Commander Krug from The Search for Spock, played by Christopher. Oh shit, I've forgotten it. Oh, he plays Doc Brown in Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. Geordie LaForge, it's obviously season 4 Geordie. I got Dabo Girl Lita, Lursa Duras, who was the less attractive of the Duras sisters, Boomer Mayweather, I'm not sure, I think he's a Mirror Universe Mayweather, I'm not sure. Bones McCoy, season, I think it's either season 2 or season 3 McCoy, because he had this funny outfit with shorter sleeves. It was a bit more baggy. McCoy from The Undiscovered Country. Ensign Pansler, who was in an episode, she came from a low gravity planet. One of my favourites, Morn, who was the big guy. It was actually a joke about Norm from Cheers. They had this character who never spoke, who was just drinking in the bar all the time. Chef Neelix, so it's the Neelix from season 1 Voyager, and also I've got Klingon Neelix from a Hirogen story where they turn the crew into like characters on the holodeck. Cadet Nog, that was when he joined Starfleet. Mirror Smiley O'Brien, who is Chief O'Brien from the Mirror Universe. Investigator Odo, who I initially thought was a Mirror Universe character, but then I was looking through my Deep Space Nine stuff I've got off of Amazon Prime, and this was from a story where he was remembering back when the Cardassians were in charge of Terok Nor, that it was the Cardassian name for Deep Space Nine. Ensign Ogawa, who was Beverly Crusher's assistant. Tom Paris. Persis, who was one of the augments from the pretty good 3-part story in Enterprise. Dr. Phlox, who is again he was my favourite character in Enterprise. Enterprise D Picard. I don't want Enterprise E Picard, and they've even got a Mirror Universe Picard that I'm not really interested in. Yeoman Rand from the original series. Section 31 Reed. I like all of the Section 31 stories. I just wish there was more of that in this new Star Trek Discovery, because obviously the Discovery ship, it's not standard issue, and it'd be nice to actually finally get it clear that what's going on in Discovery it's a Section 31 thing. Commander Riker, this is season I think it's either season 3 or season 4 Riker. There's the duplicate Thomas Riker that was created by a transporter accident, and I've got season 1 Will Riker. Telek Ramon, who is a Romulan, because they were my favourite bad guy in the Next Generation, the Romulans. Ensign Sato, who was from Enterprise, who I was quite a fan of, particularly a Mirror Universe Duplicate. It's a very interesting character. Commander Scott from, I think it's either Star Trek 1 or Star Trek 2. Ensign Seska, who, you know, Seska was in Enterprise, in Voyager. 7 of 9, blue uniform. I actually preferred her in the silver uniform, but you know, supposedly they changed it because she had to wear a corset underneath the silver uniform, and it was a little bit made her a bit unwieldy when she had to do anything physical. Cisco. It's promoted Cisco, but it's Cisco, so you know. Recovering Spock, which is the Spock from the Star Trek for the Voyage Home, who's very funny. Lieutenant Sulu from the original series. I wish I had the Sulu from the Undiscovered Country, but you know. Crewman Simon Tarsis, who is in my favourite episode of The Next Generation. Engineer Torres, who I was never really a fan of. I always found her a bit... Tucker from Enterprise. I actually really liked Tucker. He was like an actually interesting character. I just wish they'd had more stories about life on the NX Enterprise. But you know, but I'm not. I actually really like Enterprise. I know lots of people hate it. I don't know why, but you know. I got Chancellor Troy. I think she's from season 2. No, season 3 or 4. Because of the hair, you can usually tell. And it's either season 6 or 7. Deanna Troy, because her hair was a lot longer. And Luxana Troy, who's one of my favourite characters actually. Her and the Q. Security Chief Tuvok, big fan. You know, he's my favourite Vulcan. I actually think he's a much better Vulcan than any of the other ones that appeared in the show. Even better than T'Pau in Enterprise or Spock in the original series. Com Officer Uhura and Mirror Universe Uhura. But I haven't got Undiscovered Country Uhura yet, which a bit. Vash, who was Picard's girlfriend. She appeared also in Deep Space Nine. Ensign Crusher. You know, I tolerate Crusher, but he's going to be on the list of deletions when I come across a good character. Vedic Wynn, who she was sort of a complicated character in, and actually a bit of a tragic character really in Deep Space Nine. And I got Security Chief Worf from it's either season 3 or season 4, and I've also got Will Scarlet, Commander Worf from I can't remember which Q story it was, but he beamed the whole crew down, and including Vash. She appeared in the story, and she ends up going off with Q in the end. And they got Picard dressed as Robin Hood, and it's quite a good story. And the tragic Tasha Yar, who died, was the first major death in Star Trek. Anyway, yeah, that's my crew. I'll just have a quick look at my ships. I've got... Come on. I'm currently using an ISS Enterprise, which is the original series Mirror Universe version of the Enterprise. I've got the HMS Bounty, like I was saying, the Klingon bird of prey that they used at the end of Search for Spock to get away from the Genesis planet that was breaking apart. The Decora Canton, which is Kraton, which is a Ferengi marauder. I've got the Enterprise D, a Constellation class, a Ferengi marauder, which is of a lower class. The Valgene was the ship that the Marquis were using in the story Caretaker, which was like the first episode of Voyager. And I've got a Galaxy class and a Marquis Raider. Yeah. So I've unlocked all of this. Oh. Oh, I feel so shitty. I don't want to have a flu over Christmas. Yeah. Anyway, I'll sit here playing that all night. I'm not playing this. I need to finish this mission. Oh, right. Apocalypse. Ugh. Apocalypse, of course, being the home world of Darkseid, is pretty much, well, he's the DC original that Jack Kirby nicked when he decided to go back to Marvel over some financial argument or something.
Good.
And
that's a thing of beauty.
He created Thanos, the crazy Titan, who's going to be like the main villain in the next in the Marvel Infinity thing. I think there's going to be a few characters who are going to die in Infinity War, so you know, I think there may be some tears.
I will knock that smirk right off your face and into the source wall.
It's funny, this Steppenwolf actually looks more realistic than the one they used in the film. Oh god, that Justice League movie.
Back off.
It's not one that you want to re-watch, because the problems with the story, I watched it twice, and the second time I watched it I was like, actually this doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't really fit into the continuity of the comics. It doesn't really even fit into the continuity of the film, because there's a scene in it where
for the glory
Superman's carrying a building.
Don't wait for me. Grab it now.
Part of the whole mythos thing that I was led to believe with these new Superman films,
Nice job.
were that he doesn't extend his telekinetic powers into what he's holding.
It's depleted.
So
At best,
how
it may
can he
have some
carry a whole
residual
building?
energy.
The whole
well,
building
I'm not
will
leaving
crumble
empty-handed, so let's grab it and get out of here before we
because
draw
a
the eye
building's
of Darkseid.
weight is distributed on the downward. So, you know, if you put it on its side, it's going to fall apart eventually because of the structural stress of the shape of the thing. But, you know, there supposedly there were a lot of added scenes. But, like Suicide Squad, it sort of makes me wish, in a way, that we could actually see these deleted scenes because, you know, it makes you think, well, can't we see as the film would have actually been? You know, it makes you think, well, what did they cut out?
If you're ever looking for something powerful that no one person should ever have, look no further than the United States government. They've got all sorts of dangerous things that could blow off your damn hand. Let's go get some. What do you say?
Yeah, all right. Where is it then? Ah. Yeah, I think this is supposed to be like the end of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom type thing. There's a character who doesn't work at all as a comic. Like James Bond as well. James Bond comics have been pretty much no one's going to remember them because the character, their life isn't comic enough for them to be that schlocky.
Well, look what we have here. What you've got there is Dillasteel. The same silvery stuff that'll break your hand if you try to punch old Captain Atom on major force in the nose. If you get boxed a lot, this might be the one for you.
I don't know who you punks are, and I don't care. You mess with the Major, you get the Force! Ah!
Where is he? Oh shit.
I kill people for less than this.
You mess with the Pofit, you get the Pofit. Nice.
Well, mate, you collected every last artifact on my list. I'll just take these and go. What? I'm a right bastard, everyone knows that. Fine. Since you did so well, pick one.
I'll go with that. Oh God, I'm so tired. I shouldn't be tired. I woke up at about 11 o'clock today. I think it's psychosomatic. Oh, not him. Hal Jordan. Right. Now, I need to... Right. This goes in my bank. That's the central bulb. Where's the meta wing? Magic wing. Oh, where is it? Ah, right. Now, I've got one of them there. Get rid of some of this shit. No. Oh, great. Now what do I do? Oh. Anyway, I think I'm going to end now and go to bed. Yeah, shall I do my list? No. If anyone wants to see my list, just look up my Twitter handle, the Pofit HC. I'm on. It'll have my link somewhere. Maybe just go on Periscope and look up the Pofit. And yeah, I did my top 10 list. I don't want to do it again. I'm too tired. My bum hurts. So yeah, I've got to get up in the morning anyway. So Merry Christmas all. Woo. You know, I didn't even bother with Christmas decorations because I'm going to be at my mum's, so, you know. Anyway, right, let's shut this down. Shut it all down.